We live in an age of incredible convenience. Our phones hold our lives, our banks, our messages, our maps.
And soon, they might hold something even more fundamental: our very identity. The UK government is exploring a national digital ID, promising seamless services and a modern future. But what if that convenience comes at a price too high?
Imagine a world where accessing government services, proving your age, or even picking up a parcel is as simple as a tap on your phone.
No more fumbling for cards, no more forgotten passwords. A single, secure digital identity that simplifies everything.
Sounds great, right?
But dig a little deeper, and a different picture emerges. Because in the pursuit of convenience, we could be sleepwalking into a future where our fundamental freedoms we often take for granted, are quietly eroded.
What are the hidden costs of a national digital ID? Let's talk about it.
First up, mass surveillance and state control. Think about it. A single digital ID could link almost every interaction you have, where you've been, what services you've accessed, maybe even what you've bought.
It creates a vast, centralized record of your life. Civil liberties groups warn this could lead to a checkpoint society, where the state has unprecedented power to track, monitor, and even control its citizens.
Next, and perhaps most terrifying, data security and hacking. Imagine a single database holding the personal information of every single person in the UK.
Your name, address, biometric data, maybe even health records. That's not just a target. It's the ultimate prize for hackers, cybercriminals, and even hostile foreign states.
A breach wouldn't just be an inconvenience. It could be a national catastrophe, leading to widespread identity theft, fraud, and irreparable damage. Are we willing to put all our digital eggs in one basket?
But it's not just about what criminals might do. What about those who are left behind? Exclusion and discrimination. Not everyone is digitally savvy. Not everyone has a smartphone, reliable internet, or even the ability to navigate complex digital systems.
What happens to the elderly?
Low-income individuals?
People with disabilities?
Or those without fixed addresses if essential services require a digital ID?
It risks creating a two-tier society, those who can access vital services and those who are locked out.
This one is subtle but incredibly dangerous. Function creep.
You might not know this, some do, some don't.
The police in the UK have no automatic right to require your details.
Your name, your address, your date of birth, your place of birth.
But that won't stop them from requesting your details at every opportunity.
And even making unlawful detentions and arrests when citizens know the law and stand up for their rights. Like this lady who was arrested in a court building because she refused to give the police her name and details.
Or this well-known auditor, DJ Audits, who resisted the attempts to intimidate him and was unlawfully arrested.
History shows us that systems introduced for one benign purpose often expand to others.
For example, the Regulation of Investigatory Powers Act 2000, or IPA, was introduced to provide a legal framework for the use of covert surveillance by public authorities. It was intended to be used in serious criminal investigations, such as those related to terrorism and organized crime, and to ensure that any surveillance was necessary and proportionate.
Over time, the powers granted under RIPA have been used by a much wider range of public bodies for less serious matters. Local councils have reportedly used RIPA to investigate issues such as dog fouling, littering, and breaches of school catchment area rules. This expansion of the use of surveillance powers into the realm of minor civil infractions has been widely criticized by civil liberties groups as a disproportionate intrusion into the privacy of individuals.
Next up,
enacted in the aftermath of the 9/11 attacks, the Anti-Terrorism, Crime and Security Act 2001 was designed to bolster the UK's counter-terrorism measures. It included provisions for the indefinite detention of foreign terror suspects without trial and expanded powers for law enforcement to access personal data.
While intended to combat terrorism, parts of this act have been used for broader purposes. For example, the provisions allowing for the retention of communications data were later incorporated into the Data Retention and Investigatory Powers Act 2014, and subsequently the Investigatory Powers Act 2016, often dubbed the Snoopers Charter.
These acts have expanded the range of public bodies that can access this data and the reasons for which it can be accessed, moving far beyond the initial focus on national security and serious crime to include the investigation of more minor offenses.
A digital ID might start by just proving your age, but then it's needed for your bank, then for your healthcare, then for travel, then maybe even for purchasing certain goods.
Each small expansion seems reasonable, but collectively, they weave a digital net that becomes impossible to escape.
This creep often happens without significant public debate or democratic oversight.
And tying many of these concerns together,
The erosion of privacy.
A digital ID isn't just about proving who you are, it's about the data connected to that identity.
Routine collection and sharing of your personal data between government departments and potentially even private companies could become the norm.
This isn't just about what you're doing wrong. It's about the detailed profiles that can be built about your habits, beliefs, and movements.
your right to simply be left alone could vanish.
Finally, and perhaps most chillingly, is the potential for a papers, please culture.
Do we want to live in a society where you are routinely required to prove your identity just to go about your daily business?
Where a simple request from an authority can't be met with a polite refusal because your entire life is tied to that digital key?
This isn't about combating crime. It's about shifting the fundamental relationship between citizen and state.
So while the promise of convenience is tempting, we must weigh it against the potential cost to our fundamental freedoms.
Civil liberties groups are urging caution, advocating for robust safeguards, privacy by design, and above all, a genuinely voluntary system.
I am announcing this government will make a new free-of-charge digital ID mandatory by the end of this Parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that.
From the end of this Parliament, every person in the UK will have a digital ID. You'll be required to show proof of that. There are huge fines. You can even face a jail sentence. Yes, I think that's broadly right. So every single person will have a digital ID and they'll have to have a digital ID. You would be asked to show it as you're moving around. Many of the listeners will have been to other countries where you're required to carry an ID card at all times. You would be required to have a digital ID and be able to produce that.
This isn't a call to stop progress. It's a call for careful consideration, for public debate, and for ensuring that in our rush towards a digital future,
we don't accidentally sacrifice the very liberties that define us as a free society.
What are your thoughts on a UK digital ID?
do the benefits outweigh the risks?
Or are these civil liberty concerns too significant to ignore?
Let us know in the comments below.
If you found this video informative, please like, share,
And subscribe for more great content.